Like many franchises, James Bond is an intellectual property that has been going through a lot of rough patches recently, not as much as let's say The Lord of the Rings with the Rings of Power. For the most part though, the Daniel Craig James Bond movies are thought of fondly, apart from maybe the last one, but the franchise could be going downhill very fast, or maybe not. Bond fans shaken over $1 billion Amazon franchise takeover. Mega fans fear tech company's deal could mean an end to the film's unique characteristics. This is something people are not sure how to feel about, so Amazon now has creative control over the James Bond franchise, and this is why people are worried. With all these streaming services, you don't just get a film every few years, you get a film every now and then along with 3 spin-off shows a year, and they are actually damaging to a brand because the streaming services focus more on quantity rather than quality, because streaming shows placed on a studio's own streaming service aren't as profitable as how shows used to be made and distributed, and this leads to countless unnecessary storylines and too much time being focused on characters who don't deserve to be leading a project of their own, and just in general, too many projects dilutes the overall property, as has been the case with the likes of Star Wars and Star Trek. If they don't go down this path with making lots of shows and focus on quality, it's uncertain what you're going to get with Amazon. You could get something the likes of Reacher and Terminal List, which are held in high regard, or something like The Rings of Power, which isn't viewed that fondly. The previous owners were also adamant that James Bond should remain a male, that James Bond should remain as his character has always been, but will the people now in charge go in a different direction? Jeff Bezos has put out a post on X asking people who they want to play the next James Bond, and a lot of people have replied saying Henry Cavill, but it's easy for a company to imply that they will go in the direction of what the customers want. It's another thing for them to actually do so. Are you a fan of the James Bond movies? How about the books? And do you think James Bond is in safe hands with Amazon?